From Dallas to Los Angeles and a screen near you, here is B Wildcat 2.
Hello everybody, this is B Wildcat 2 here, and I'm bringing you something new today. This is the MLB 2K12 demo. I had this footage on my hard drive, didn't know what to use it for, but now I'm going to talk about the MLB season thus far. Since this isn't like a Rangers franchise or anything, I'm not going to commentate over it. You guys can watch the video, but mostly I'm going to talk about 2012 as a whole thus far. So I'm going to start off in the AL East. Obviously, the Yankees are on top, up by 5 games right now on the Orioles, who have gone 3 and 7 in their last 10 games after that great start to the season. I mean, they were looking like they would run away with the division and possibly make a World Series run if they were lucky, but now everything might have settled down in the land of the American League East. The Yankees are back on top, and Boston, after being like in last place for so long, they're only 6 games back. They're 1 game behind Baltimore for second place. They're in third right now. Tampa is, all 5 teams as of right now are over 500. With Toronto being in last place, 7.5 back. They're 2 games over 500. So, good stories there. Hopefully Baltimore can make a late season run and come back and take the lead over the Yankees, but I doubt that will seriously happen. They seem to have cooled off. We go to the American League Central now, and the White Sox. The White Sox have gone on top of Cleveland, 2.5 games at this point as I do this commentary. Detroit, they are a real shocker this year. They're struggling. Oh man, and they've got a powerful lineup too. Their pitching hasn't been what they thought they would have. I mean, Verlander, of course, but the rest of the pitching staff hasn't done what they thought they would. So they're 4 games back. They're 2 games under 500. Kansas City 6 games back. And Minnesota, I'm not even going to talk about. I mean, they have won 2 or 3 in a row, I think, at this point. But, anyway, as I do this commentary, Texas, my Rangers are in first place in the American League West. They are the first team to 50 wins on the season. The closest to 50 wins is the Yankees, who have 47. But anyway, the Rangers are 50 and 29. As I do this commentary, they've won 5 in a row. My lord. Anyway, so 5 wins in a row for the Rangers. They lead the Angels by 6.5 games. Oakland is 13 back, and Seattle is 17 back. So obviously, hopefully, if my predictions from before the seasons hold up like they have been thus far, the Rangers are gonna go pretty far this year. So as we turn to the National League, I'm gonna start off in the NL East. The Washington Nationals. The Washington Nationals. You didn't hear me wrong. I said the Washington Nationals are in first place with a 44-32 record. That's you talk about shocking. They lead the Mets by 2.5 games. Atlanta 3.5 back at this point. Miami 7.5 back, and the shocker of them all is Philadelphia is 8 games under 500, 10 games back of Washington. They are in last place. So that's a shocker in the NL East. Even more shocking is in the NL Central, the Pirates are only back 1 game of the Reds right now. They are 1 game back of the Cincinnati Reds. They are 42 and 35. The Reds are 43 and 34. St. Louis, the Cardinals, they're having an okay season, not as good as they had a season last year. They're over 500, but they're still 3.5 back of Cincinnati. Milwaukee, Houston, and the Cubs are all struggling. 8 games, 11.5, 15 games back, respectively. So as we turn to the NL West, the San Francisco Giants lead the Dodgers by 1 solid game. They had just recently swept the Dodgers and without giving up a run, which is impressive. Not only did they sweep the Dodgers, they did not give up a single run to the Dodgers. The Dodgers with their powerful lineup, I know Kemp is out, Ethier, Loney, they've got all those guys. How did they not score a run against against the Giants? It's mind-boggling. Anyway, Arizona is doing all right. They're over 500, 4 games back at this point. Colorado is having a rocky season, no pun intended. They are 30 and 47, 13 games back of the Giants, and San Diego has become the first team to lose 50 games this year. They are 29 and 50, the opposite record of the Rangers. So, anyway, it's been a pretty good year thus far. If you're a fan of the teams that are in first place, as I am. The Rangers definitely are having a great season thus far. Had some injuries. Our pitching staff has been roughed up a little bit, but we've got some talented rookies that have come up and been able to pitch in a rough stretch, and they've done well for their first major league start. As far as my mid-season predictions, we're almost to the All-Star break as I'm doing this commentary, so for the second half of this year, I'd like to see Baltimore come back and give the Yankees a run for the money, but I don't think they're going to win the AL East. If they come back, they'll probably have to look at a wild card spot, if anything. Cleveland is only 2.5 back of the White Sox. They could definitely make a run. Detroit, 4 games back. They could definitely challenge the White Sox in the second half of the season. Look for them late. The Angels, I hope, will not come back against the Rangers. I hope the Rangers can continue their winning ways and hold on to this AL West lead and go back to the playoffs again this year. In the National League East, I would love to see Washington win the division and go all the way. I think they'll win the division, but I don't think they're going to go all the way to the World Series. If they do, I seriously doubt that they'll win, but they are going to have a good season, I can tell. The Mets might challenge for the wild card. Atlanta may make a late season run. Look for Atlanta late. Definitely look out for, there are 2 wild card spots, so this year at least, so Baltimore and Cleveland, or Baltimore and Detroit, Cleveland and Detroit. They could be the AL West wild card. And then in the NL, we could have the Dodgers and Pittsburgh, or the Dodgers and the Mets, Dodgers, St. Louis. There's a bunch of storylines to watch out for in the second half of the season. They are definitely not out of it. Nothing has been settled yet. Nothing is for sure. So look for all these teams pretty late. As far as statistics-wise, the Rangers are leading the league in offense, which isn't a surprise. But the best pitching staff has actually been the Giants, which is not that surprising if you saw that last series against the Dodgers. So it's been a good MLB season thus far. Definitely look for some key storylines in the second half of the year. Look out for those teams that I mentioned earlier in the video. Definitely watch out for Baltimore, Cleveland, the Mets, Pittsburgh, the Dodgers, of course. So what do you guys think about the MLB season thus far? Are you as shocked by it by some of it as I am, or are you proud of the fact that proud of the season thus far? Leave your comments below. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm BWildcat2 as always.